Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and this is going to be part 6 of the how to beat Team Liquid at TI8 series, or TI7, TI8.
10 seconds to pick
Maybe
your hero.
they're going to be winning TI8 as well. They look like a strong team and they're staying
Yep,
together,
got just 5
so
seconds left
we'll see
now.
if the TI curse affects them. All bets are it will, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, if you guys don't know what this series is, I'm doing a replay analysis for every single game that Liquid played at TI. This is going to be the second game in the group stage between Team Liquid and EG. I'm going throughout the full group stages and then the main event as well. I'm just trying to get better at doing these analysis videos. I'm doing this for myself. I'm learning things as well while doing these videos, as well as trying to teach you guys as much as I can. And this series itself is more high level, so it might not be for everybody, but I do think it's interesting. And as a Dota player, I mean, if I was like just starting to learn the game and stuff like that, I feel like these type of videos would be interesting. This is something that I would want to watch. I mean, anyway, enough about all that stuff. Let's just go right into the analysis. Let's not waste more time. So we're already a bit underway in the draft here. Again, this is how I'm usually doing it. I don't like to start at the beginning because speeding through the draft and stuff is like a little bit buggy. So I just start midway through, pretty much. But looking at EG, they ban out the IO and the Coddle. Last game, I do remember that EG lost the draft pretty hard. They like put themselves in a really bad situation, and they're starting off with a pretty similar lineup here, I would say. I think last game, what was it? Let me just go back and check. I don't actually remember. It was this game. Hold on. So we have a frame of reference here, details, and I know they had a Marana. No, they didn't have a Marana. They had a Bat Rider, and they had the Elder Titan. The Marana is new, so this time around, the Bat Rider probably will be support. Honestly, actually, it could still be anything. This is how EG really liked to draft at TI7. It didn't end up working out for them as they lost to Empire and got knocked out of the tournament, but in the group stages, they found moderate success with this strategy where they would draft to confuse the enemy team. They wouldn't know what roles these heroes would be played in, because Mirana could be played by Arteezy, Sumail, and Universe. They ended up playing it on Universe a lot more, but I think in this game it will be played by Universe. And then Bat Rider was a support, I'm pretty sure, played by Crit, and Elder Titan is Zaya's hero. So one unambiguous hero and two ambiguous heroes for EG. As for Liquid, they're going with the old classic here, Earthshaker startup into the Nature's Prophet. Last game, Nature's Prophet had a really good matchup against Arteezy's Venomancer, and they picked the Venomancer into the Nature's Prophet. So I thought that was one of the biggest mistakes EG made in the last drafting phase. And hold on, Winter Wyvern 4th pick, so this will be an offlane Bat Rider. Universe will be playing offlane Bat like it did in the last game. Marana will be probably taken by Sumail or Arteezy. I'm pretty sure it's played by, yeah, it is played by Sumail this game. They last pick a Lone Druid for Arteezy here. Just looking at the bans real quick. Liquid take out the Pugna, Sven. Again, I think they banned Sven in the last game. Either that or EG banned the Sven. I can't actually check without going to the Dota buff, so I'm not. I know Sven was banned out last game as well in the second phase. I won't get to see him here either. They ban out Matoma Man's Lycan, and they ban out the Storm Spirit, which is surprising. It's not a hero that Miracle played that much actually at TI, but they might have been running in scrims or something. And I think Storm wouldn't be that bad in this game either, as again they're lacking some disables for him. I think last game they ended up banning it out as well. So they're just following the same banning lineup as they did in the last game. As for Liquid here, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick their mid hero, right? As I know, Marana is most likely mid. It's more likely to be played by Sumail than Arteezy. And then they have last pick. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it?
Oh, dire team ban.
Faceless Void.
Alright, they're gonna go with Matoma Man's Void. I don't know about that though. I feel like Liquid's draft is weak this game. They have the Void, nothing to really synergize with it quite yet. It will be Miracle's
You
hero
really gotta
last
pick a
pick,
hero.
but
You got 10
this
seconds
feels like they
left.
want to pick Invoker, and I
Radiant
feel
team
like Invoker
ban.
is not the hero here. But actually, EG will just ban it out anyway. Yeah, so it was pretty obvious that Invoker was coming. So that's why, like, if they were playing on something like that, uh, I would like to see them pick the Invoker here and then last pick. But I guess
10 seconds to pick your hero.
it just doesn't make sense. I think Kuro messed up a little bit here in his drafting.
5 seconds left now. Radiant team picks.
So now at this point, what are they going to pick? As for Miracles, Heroes, it needs something to synergize with the Chrono, as right now they don't have anything. And it will be Silencer. For what reason? Silencer is really good against like this combo like they have. Like the lasso into like these abilities they can just silence immediately when someone gets lassoed, and maybe they can counter initiate with the Chrono. It's pretty good against Winter Wyvern as it stops the save, you know, if they want to initiate with the Chrono, and just silence their ultimate just to secure a kill. But they're lacking in a lot of different areas. First of all, this Mirana most likely will not be safe lane. And why no? Because I've already watched the game right before. But if I was looking for it, I would know like this Mirana is not going to be sent safe lane. That's kind of suicide, as Nature's Prophet wins this matchup against most ranged heroes. So Mirana is going to be mid, and they knew that, and they could have just picked a hero mid here like Invoker if they really wanted it. But instead they saved their last picks. Silencer. That Miracle hasn't been playing that much. So we'll be Mind Control Nature's Prophet. RTZ takes the Lone Druid to the safe lane. This hero actually does beat the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet has a hard time. He can harass like one ranged hero down, but like he has to fight a bear. So they're gonna fight summons with summons, and the bear is a lot stronger than Treants. Of course, it's tankier, and I mean he wins that trade war for sure, and we'll definitely see RTZ win the lane there. As for Samael mid on the Mirana, they have a good roaming combination. If the other Titan gets in there, hits the stun, can be comboed into an arrow, depending on how they do it. Batrider should have a good lane. Void is one of the heroes that are picked to go up against Batrider, but I feel like Batrider still does fine in that lane. It's one of the annoying matchups for him, as he can hit with the time dilation and he can't spam his sticky napalm anymore. But I still think it's not an awful lane. It's just a good. It's not a bad lane for Void, but it's not an awful lane for Bat. It's slightly unfavorable, but he can still hang. The Shadow Shaman coming in and will give him some troubles. But I think Zai plays the Elder Titan really well, and he's already making a rotation into the rune area here. Already placed down a ward. So I'm going to be looking at Liquid this game and where they fall short, because spoiler alert, they do end up losing this game. I think a lot of it had to do with their laning stage. Normally they rely on getting pretty far ahead in the laning stage, if not going even, or holding their own in terms of keeping towers alive, which is something they value highly. Not this bottom tower when they're playing Radiant. I noticed many times they let this bottom tower go without a fight at all when they're playing Radiant, but when they're comes to the mid tower and the top tower, they will defend it at all costs pretty much. And same thing when they're on Dire, except reverse, right? With this tower and this tower. They don't care about these bottom towers. They like to play around Rosh Pit, so these bottom towers aren't that important to them. Anyway, as we see the game start off here, it will be a tri-lane mid for Liquid. This is something that's very common. EG is going to meet it with a dual lane at the start, and Winter Wyvern's a really strong hero. That's a little bit of a meme because he's known to be the 0% win rate main event hero, but he's actually really strong in this scenario where he's dual laning. Arctic Burn does a ton of damage, and one thing to note is Winter Wyvern is actually one of the highest win rate heroes in 5k plus MMR pups. Just because he's quite situational, and when he does end up getting picked in a scenario where he's good, he tends to be really good. So didn't work out at TI, but in pubs he is actually pretty high win rate, and I even watched some FPL games where went to where and found some success. It's just for whatever reason he just didn't work out at TI, and a lot of things factored into that. Anyway, it will be a aggressive dual lane. The top lane will be left as a true 1v1. Open up the last hits and denies here. Arteezy should come ahead in this lane. He's already significantly far ahead of Mind Control. 8 CS to 5. I guess he was clearing out the creep wave a little bit faster. It's going to even out now as the creeps die for Mind Control. As for the mid lane, I still don't understand the silencer. I guess they saw the Mirana, and with the Invoker ban, they're like, what can combo into Chrono and can lane pretty decently against Samel's Mirana, and it came up with Silencer. I think this might have been Miracle's decision, but I mean, I like to see something else here. It was just they picked the Void to go against the Batrider. They kind of just didn't think out their draft fully, like to say, and then they ended up with a weird group of heroes. You look at EG, they don't have a standard draft either, but first of all, they're gonna have a very good lane on Lone Druid, and they don't have anything on the side of Liquid to pressure him. I can farm the safe lane freely, and later on in the game, it's kind of hard to chrono a Lone Druid because I'm pretty sure Arteezy ends up going the ranged build this game, and with that, he's playing really far in the back line. Even then, they always have the Winter Werewolf, and they really rely on the silence to disrupt that and burst someone, but I just don't see them bursting somebody. And as for EG, right, they can go within the get the lasso and they can kill anybody. So we're already off to like a weird laning stage for Liquid. We're gonna see a kill attempt here onto Zai, but he drops the spirit down. He does go down though. So it's first blood going to Team Liquid. Nice TP rotation coming in from GH. We'll get that kill. Notice that Smale is not having that much trouble at all. I really like this Mirana pick because she's pretty good in most lane matchups, and especially against Earthshaker, who relies on like fissuring off heroes to get a lot of early game kills. Mirana will be able to just leap over it. Silencer, of course, can't silence her, but it forces him to like combo in a way that's more complicated than, for example, Earthshaker coming in and like fissure blocking, let's say Shadow Fiend or something like that, and he's just has no counter play. But again, Liquid already off to a good start, so lane stage not going too bad for them in terms as with his bottom lane. Mid lane, I would say, is even. Yeah, it's pretty much completely even. But look, you look at the top lane, Arteezy is pulling quite far ahead of the Nature's Prophet now, especially now that he's hit level 5. With this, it's going to be a really hard lane for Nature's Prophet. He even attempted a pull here, but he's not going to have a good time now, having to play against the potential roots coming out from the bear. Mid lane outplay here from Samel with the help of the Haste Rune. We'll get a solo kill. Well, not solo kill, but we'll get a kill with the help of Zai. A little bit there. I think he would have killed him anyway by himself, but Zai helped out just a little bit. So at this point, EG is definitely ahead. They got a couple of kills here in the bottom lane, but I feel like that's irrelevant. Samel is having a really good lane now after that kill. Did secure the kill, and Arteezy is also having a really good game. GH will get another kill there onto Universe. So again, we're seeing that Batrider is weak in this lane, but keep in mind he's getting experience. Like, he's not being zoned out, right? He's the same level as the Void pretty much, and he's gonna be TP right back on the mid lane. We're gonna see a fight break out, and this is the weakness of Silencer mid. He's really vulnerable to ganks, and we're gonna see the 3 heroes here gang up on him. They're gonna get a kill onto Miracle and Kuroki, and GH comes in trying to help out, but too little too late. There's not much for him to do here. Now at this point, I'm pretty sure Liquid are definitely feeling some pressure. JH has gotten a bunch of kills. He's off to a pretty good start, but mid lane's not good. Bottom lane, the Toman isn't farming that great either compared to Artesian. EG off to a super great start at this point, in my opinion. And I think that it really has to go down with the draft. Liquid played this to the best of their ability. Like, they're not gonna. I think they had several other options, right? It was either to maybe pressure Arteezy a little bit more, but then at that point they're going to leave the void. And again, if it's just 1v1 or like 1v2 potentially, if they're gonna commit a hero to go top, I don't think that was enough. They needed to commit like 2 to maybe gank Arteezy, shut him down early. One Druid is also an offlaner, or played as an offlaner, right? So he can survive some tough lane matchups. And I don't know if a Shadow Shaman and an Earthshaker with Nature's Prophet is enough to pressure him that hard, and in turn give Universe a good lane and Samael a good lane. And Crit will be able to put pressure on whatever lane he's in. He's already rotated in and definitely helped out mid a lot here, as Miracle is feeling it right now. And at this point, Samael and Arteezy is pulling far ahead in terms of their farm. And with this pressure they're putting, they're not getting kills, but they're forcing the supports to move around. And this is just helping out Arteezy. These supports aren't really well equipped at getting kills in any of these lanes. If you look, I think the heroes that are most vulnerable dying are of course the supports, the Elder Titan, and the Wyvern. As they're going to Chrono the Bat right here, and they're not going to go for him. They're going to go for the easier kill onto Crit here, but that's Chrono committed, and the only kill they get of it is a level 3 Winter Wyvern. That's definitely not worth it for Liquid. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Samael is attempting a solo kill here. The arrow will miss, but he will turn around, try to get the kill. Fairy Fire from Miracle will turn this around, and they will get a kill. But anyway, so at this point, I think that Liquid are in trouble. If you look at the kill there, they got a lot out of it. I mean, in terms of the net worth, it's still even, but keep in mind, Dota is not all about the net worth head to head. It's what items and what gold amounts are on what heroes. Oh, the best way to put that. Net worths are on each hero, but I think that at this point, Arteezy's absolute free farm. I think he has a. Let's find out him.
The prize is mine.
Well, it's only 8 minutes in the game. He's bought some small items, so surprised that he didn't go for like something like a Midas. I guess he is going for the range build, so I don't know if he actually ends up buying Midas. But more fights are breaking out here. What happened there? Miner tried to snipe it.
The prize is mine.
Oh, he's tried for a courier snipe here and he got punished for it. This is just greedy play. Thought he'd be able to get it.
Nicely done.
I don't know what that was actually, but that's another kill for Samael, and he's also really far ahead. So right now, like, the 2 heroes on EG that are getting a lot are their 2 cores. They're strong cores as well that will carry them, right? Batrider, they don't really worry too much about him in terms of his item progression. He's actually having a pretty good one as well, so compare the net worths right now, you see that EG's heroes are at the top. Void is a wonky hero because he's relying on a pretty long cooldown. Compare that to Lone Druid. Once he gets his items up, he's going for the range build, so he'll be able to fight constantly pretty much. Has no cooldowns that he needs to worry about. They have Lasso on pretty low cooldown, and they're just able to fight a lot more often. Even the Shadow Shaman and the Earthshaker supports have long cooldown ultimates, and even then, the Earthshaker requires a Blink Dagger to really take these fights. But EG can start fighting and coming online really early. And their defensive abilities is really strong as well. Normally against a Silencer, you would be worried about trying to get your defensive abilities off, but if you look at Liquid's lineup, they don't have any huge burst, no heavy damage dealer on their team until like Silencer either steals a bunch of ants or gets his items up, but he's been having a rough time. He has 6 int stolen already, but it's not the greatest. And if you look at EG, Ortiz already took the top tower by himself, and now he's just headed straight into another lane. He can just continuously put pressure onto Liquid, and they are put in a scenario where they have to choose between fighting and trying to avoid EG, because they know they're not strong at this point, while EG are feeling pretty powerful. And it's all down goes down to their heroes pretty much, as I mean, Mirana has no cooldown she needs to worry about, or Silencer, and he does have an ultimate that is on super long cooldown. Same thing with their Void, and they put themselves in a pretty bad scenario. And I feel like even if they picked Invoker here, they wouldn't be in a much better position. GH is getting run down in the bottom lane here. They're just gonna go for another tower with all 4 heroes, with Samael keeping out in the mid lane. Top tower will be started to be pressured by mind control. He's going for the Orchid build this game once again, with Crit coming out, tossing the Splinter Blast. He should slow this push significantly, which is huge. And this is just the 5 position support on EG slowing this push from Nature's Prophet by himself, but with GH rotating in, they will attempt for a kill. Echo Slam will be used as well, and Crit, he's still alive. He might live this one actually. Gets the Winter's Curse off. Can he walk away? No, he will not. But he's stalling for a long time again. This is just space created while in the mid lane Liquid goes on to Universe, gets the kill there, but they're coming in. Zai is trying to body block. They get will kill Miracle here. Man gets out. That was Chrono committed, so Chronosphere used. They only killed Universe. They did lose their top tower, but Crit stalled it for a significant amount of time, and they got that bottom tower. And look how much damage that RTZ managed to do onto the tier 2 as well. So we're at a point where, again, if you look at the net worth, EG isn't all that far ahead, but you look at what net worth they have on their important heroes, it's really high, and they're off to an insanely good start as for their experience as well, which is a lot higher than the net worth advantage, 2 times I guess. 1,000, about 1,000 net worth advantage, 2,000 experience advantage, but that's a big deal on these heroes. Like Mirana has maxed out Starstorm, maxed out Leap. She's even bothered with the Moonlight Shadow, and in these fights, like Samael is insanely powerful right now compared to, for example, Miracle. He doesn't have any int stolen. As far as item progressions, he's just going for a Midas, and he's very squishy. If he gets caught out, lassoed, for example, or something like that, he'll go down. Where Mirana has the ability to like leap away. She has mobility, and she can go in and out of the fight with her phase boots. Overall, if EG were to take any team fights right now, they would pretty much beat Liquid if it was just head to head. In addition, they have the pickoff potential from the Bat Rider as they're going to come in, find mind control. They know that he likes to hang out in these areas, and they have the correct heroes to deal with Liquid as well. I really like how EG favored the Bat Rider pick in the first phase in both games. I think this hero is really strong against Team Liquid, as they like to split push a lot and play in these like trees. And with the Bat Rider, I think LFY also applied this, where they picked Bat to go against Liquid. Is, I mean, it's a great hero for looking out, finding heroes trying to hide in the trees, as he has Firefly and will burn down the trees and get vision. And with the Blink Dagger, Universe should be able to catch mind control every time he tries to split push, so he's forced to take the safe farm, but he doesn't ideally want to do that because that's something that GH wants to do to get his Blink Dagger up, and he's really close to it as he moves in here onto Universe, but Universe will back himself off. Now, if you look what Arteezy can do, he could play in this bottom area, and is there a hero that can kill Arteezy? No. So EG is already ahead. I mean, they can kill Arteezy, right? But there's no single hero that can stop him from being down here. They'll need to commit 2 if not 3 heroes to try to take out RTZ, especially when he has the help of crit behind him here. And they're gonna go for kill there. Chronosphere to kill Universe. Again, this is not worth it. This is a really long cooldown. And they're getting a kill, and they're assuming control of EG's jungle, but I don't think EG care too much about this. I would like to see them regain control at some point and be warded, as they should know that their jungle is warded at this point with that kill into Universe, and they're actually going to lose some mail with aggressive play onto Liquid's Shrine. Let's see how this actually goes. Fight's actually still not looking that bad for EG. They will lose crit in the back, but Universe TP's back in and gets a kill here onto Mind Control. He backs himself off. Kuroki's dead too. Is he gonna get 3? Universe? No, he's not. He doesn't want to fight past the Serpent Wards there. Meanwhile, Ortiz is just farming this whole time, by the way. He hasn't been involved. 0-0 and 2, and he's getting fat. Top of net worth. While all these fights are going on, Ortiz is continuing to farm up, and again, Liquid have no hero to stop him at this point. He's going for the range lone druid build, and they don't really have an answer to it, as their heavy lockdowns are also pretty long cooldown ultimates, Chronosphere and the Echo Slam. And of course they have Shadow Shaman's abilities to lock down heroes, but they're still level 1 each, and he doesn't have anywhere near the gold for Blink Dagger, so Kuroki's playing the hard 5, and RTZ, even then, if Kuroki tries to shackle him or whatever, and he always has the bear to cast a Savage Roar and get himself out of trouble. So Ortiz is really hard to deal with. He had a good laning save against the Prophet as the last pick, Lone Druid, and Liquid just have no answers. So you see Ortiz is running from lane, getting all the farm there's that he had. He's gonna aggressively push down this mid tower. And you look at Liquid and they just don't have an answer to this. Even with a blink onto GH, with the counter initiation potential coming out from Winter Wyvern, as well as the Elder Titan, they don't have what it takes, especially with Global Silence on cooldown. And we're seeing EG abuse this. Global Silence was on 14-second cooldown, and they just take down that mid tower fearlessly. They didn't care. Well, if you look at Liquid, they're losing their towers. They lost a tier 2 bottom. Tier 1 top, of course, tier 1 mid, tier 1 bot, and they're losing their towers while EG is keeping their towers alive. Mid tower is still alive, bottom tower is really healthy. The only tower they lost is the safe lane tower. And I would say they're playing kind of similar to Liquid playstyle, I would say, with RTZ taking most of the farm and split pushing on the map being really hard to deal with, and then Samael doing something similar with Universe going for the pickoffs.
Oh boy, Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
I feel like Liquid kind of like this playstyle as well, but it's with, of course, a little bit of an EG flair with the Zai support on the Elder Titan. These are not really heroes that EG, or Liquid will play. But with Winter Wyvern and Elder Titan, they have really good defensive supports. They have the pickoff from the Bat Rider, and they're able to just play the map better than Liquid can with their lineup. And as you see here, Liquid are feeling pressured. So you know, if this continues like this, they'll fall too far behind in farm and lose just because of the lack of items. EG will just have more items in them, and they just can't take these team fights. But right now they're looking for something. They know that their vision in EG's jungle is really good, so they know that they have a high chance of getting a good initiation off, and they won't find any EG heroes, but they'll find a bear. So it's 300 gold going to them. EG do a good job of avoiding this gank, but with this they're gonna drop the Serpent Ward's top and try to take a tier 2. But at this point, I think they need to get out though. Even though they have good vision, EG is now under Moonlight Shadow, and they do make the correct decision to back away. Mind Control pushes at the bottom lane. They take out a tier 2. It's not denied from EG. Oh, Universe almost catches GH here, and we can already see the strength of the Bat Rider here. Liquid had to back themselves away. They're afraid with the Moonlight Shadow coming in, even though they had really good vision. They're not going to be able to see invis heroes, of course, and if there's a smoke coming or something as well. The Bat Rider comes in with the lasso, and sure, they can try to global silence, counter initiate, but at that point it still puts them in a weird scenario where they're kind of forced into fighting. Ideally, they like started off on their own terms with a good Echo or a Chronosphere or something like that. Anyway, Arteezy is still at it. This game does slow down, so we're just going to speed it up. There's not that much to see actually. At this point, the game is just going to be Arteezy running down lanes, farming. Liquid don't have an answer to him, because again, no burst damage. Save heroes onto EG, while we look at EG, they got the initiation of the lasso. However, Liquid do have counter initiation. There's the global silence, but I'm going to go back. Alright, that was a little bit too fast. So here EG goes in with the play, they have a smoke online, and they go in with the lasso onto the Void, right? He's a good target because he's one of their counter initiators. However, they have two more. Global Silence comes out, Echo Slam comes out, now the Chronosphere connects, hits on his eye. Here we see the strength of the Lone Druid. He shows up, and since all of their big abilities has already been used, there's no answer to him. He just goes in, gets all these kills their courier as well, and it will be a 3-for-3 trade from what started to look like really good Liquid counter initiation. And with this, Arteezy and Sumail are alive. They have really strong heroes in this game, as Liquid don't have the core matchups that can deal. I mean, Void doesn't fight against Lone Druid at this point. He can't. If he goes on top of him, I mean, Lone Druid will just destroy him. He has the root, not only that, stopping him from the time walk. If he does actually even get in trouble, the Savage Roar does come out, and even if he chronos the Lone Druid, he doesn't have enough damage to kill him, as he's not had the greatest laning stage, and with this he's also built very defensively into the Lincoln Sphere to fight against the Bat Rider. I'm pretty sure his Lincoln's died as well.
Dire's middle tower's under attack.
Yeah, it did die on the courier.
Dire's middle tower just took a big beating. It's gone.
Mid tower will die to the tree ants. Arteezy has a hurricane pike as well. And you can see here them trying to go on top of him, but they're just gonna get it turned around. And now look at the damage output coming out from Arteezy. Cheech will come in. Doesn't manage to save his teammates. They lose Shadow Shaman, they lose the Nature's Prophet. And this is pretty much an EG game. I don't see a way where Liquid could come back. I guess they have infinite scaling with the silencer, but this Lone Druid will just be way too powerful. They walk into the Brush Pit and take Roshan, and I feel like even if EG lose fights at this point, the fact that they can get this Aegis is huge, as Liquid can win one team fight, but they can't win two in a row. And with EG's heroes, they're lucky that Lone Druid doesn't have respawn talent anymore, otherwise they'd be really screwed. But what can happen is just EG needs to just force a team fight from Liquid, take an even trade, and then take the fight afterwards. As we saw here, they forced the team fight out of Liquid with the smoke gank, with the lasso. It earned it out being an even trade, but still a slightly favorable trade for EG. The fact that they kept Arteezy as well as Sumail alive, and with that they just took the fight afterwards, got 2 other kills, went into Roshan, and they can just do this again. As long as they keep their important cores alive, aka either Sumail or Arteezy, they'll be able to just win the game later on. All they need to do is force a fight, make sure that the fight goes well enough. They don't like get 5-man chronoed or something crazy like that, or 5-man echoed. Once the BKBs come out for Lone Druid and Mirana, this will be of course a lot easier to win these fights. And after that, even with the Aegis as well, they'll have 2 lives onto 1 hero, and it'll be incredibly hard for Liquid to play this game, because again, they're lacking damage until the Silencer steals that int, starts infinite scaling. And here again, we see a fight that starts out okay for Liquid. Nice 2-man chrono. However, it's just the Aegis, and Liquid Arteezy's been doing it in the fight. He's cleaning up, 3 heroes are already dead, and he goes low here. Nice Echo Stomp, and even if they go on top of him, he's confident, he's turning back around. I don't know where I'm watching on half speed. They go in, that's a full Fan Mine wipe. So as I said before, it's all that needs to happen. He usually just starts the fight somehow, and doesn't matter how.
Radiant's middle tower
With
is
that,
under attack.
they baited the Chrono onto 2. Sumail had the Aegis, he didn't care about dying. They came back and then they focused their attention on TZ. But with the Chronosphere already used, they didn't have the ability to actually focus him down and kill him. So instead, he survived and
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
maybe a Rax, maybe? I don't think
Just
it'll be a tier
fortified their
3.
structures. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe it's a Rax. They have a catapult.
Radiant's middle
Sumail can
tower is
leap
under
for
attack.
extra attack speed.
Radiant's middle tower is destroyed.
Oh, they take the tier 3. They're happy about that. They don't want to overcommit, and everybody will just back out. Ichi will shine up. So, of course, this series is called How to Beat Liquid. What is going wrong with Liquid's lineup in this game? And again, it all goes back to the drafting phase. In my opinion, the Silencer pick, I mean, I could see where it could work out. Liquid are really good at getting early game kills, and they hope that maybe they can come in with some potentially really good ganks and get some early int onto Miracle, and then you can snowball with the Midas and just start hitting super hard into the Chronosphere, because he's like their true damage dealer in this game. Of course, Mind Controls provides a decent bit of damage as well, but Matum Man is just the lockdown hero right now. I mean, he went for the Lincolns just to make sure that he can defend himself, and he hasn't built into damage at all until his Fusel Blade comes out. As for TZ, he's a damage dealing beast from a long range. Liquid have problems with the super long range initiation, as their heroes to do so is Earthshaker, and they are gonna have to pick and choose, because they don't really want to go onto TZ because he has defensive supports. They want to kind of go in the defensive supports. They have the global silence to kind of maybe go in there, but it's still difficult, as EG is playing at a range where just Liquid don't have a good time initiating into. Both the Mirana and Lone Druid are playing from too far back, and they're usually frontlining with the Batrider coming in the lasso. They don't have a true frontliner, but they have Batrider, of course, coming in there and drawing their attention. Same thing with like the Elder Titan.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And with that, they just have a pretty lackluster lineup, in my opinion. The Faceless Void doesn't split push. He doesn't create insane lane pressure or anything like that. Same thing with the Silencer. He doesn't push out lanes too fast, and Liquid is going against what makes them good, which is their split pushing, their ability to push out lanes and force enemy teams to be in bad situations. You never underestimate like heroes that can push out the lanes, because it will force heroes to go back. It makes you make the decision whether you want to just give up your tower, or like, for example, go for the objective defend or Sean or something like that. Oftentimes you'll just give up free towers because you have more important things to do elsewhere on the map, and as a result, usually the map control will be in your favor when you have heroes that can split push the lanes and push out waves real fast. But this is not the case. Silencer cannot do that, and the Void cannot do that as well, and Liquid got put into this game where they're forced to have let's say flawless execution, but they're forced to have really good initiations and really good teamfight execution, and that's just not something that is their strong point. I would say that it's something that EG is more inclined towards, but even then, we saw them try to play the similar play style against Liquid in the last game with the Void, and it just didn't work out. I think split push just wins against teamfight, and if you look at this game, I mean, TZ is on a hero that can push out the lanes pretty much freely, as I mentioned multiple times. Same thing with Sumail, and they're just winning the clearing war. And as a result, they're about 11,000 net worth advantage ahead. Liquid is still looking for desperation smokes, but they're not going to find anything. EG always positions themselves in a good position. I don't know what Miracle is doing here. Move too far forward, gets his TP cancelled, and he's dead.
Whoa, killing spree. Ownage.
Dead for 50 seconds without buyback. I think this is potentially mid-rax. Speed it up. Yeah, this game is just really weird now. A lot of it had to do with the draft, I would say, and I feel like that's the only times where Liquid lost is when Hiroki didn't get the draft he wanted. I'm not so sure if they really wanted the Invoker there. I would say this game definitely would play out differently if they had an Invoker. Sure, Silencer is potentially a win condition if he somehow steals a ridiculous amount of ints, but I would say Invoker is a lot better win condition, and it's a miracle Invoker first of all, and he combos with the Void a lot better as he can do it globally with the Sunstrike, and I mean I guess Silencer is global as well with the silence, but it's not global damage, and opens up more kill potential potentially if they can, like, you know, just have Tumbleman play with GH, and then the Invoker can push out lanes while at the same time contributing with a Sunstrike. Silencer can't do that. Now full team fight will actually break out. Starts off with a pretty good lasso. Again, Chronosphere coming out from the Tumbleman, but they cannot kill anybody. And Crit will just actually just heal himself up with a Cold Embrace. They drop the Serpent Wards for no reason. They're just gonna get farmed up now. Second Roshan will be taken by EG. Liquid use all their team ultimates except for Echo there, and they don't kill anybody. Second Aegis claimed from EG. Sure, they have the Echo, but it's not going to be enough to defend. TZ is super tanky now. Samael has his Hurricane Pike as well. They have double Hurricane Pike. They're just really strong. So again, Liquid is already having a hard time catching these heroes. Like Lone Druid runs around and fights pretty quickly, but with the Hurricane Pike, he can just get out of any sticky situation. In the combination of the Savage Roar, at this point Liquid have a hard time just like getting a kill just because of how far ahead EG is, and even while the net worth was a lot more even, right, you could already see that they're having trouble killing Samael and Arteezy just because they don't have the heroes necessarily to do so. In like a one-on-one engagement, Arteezy will pretty much beat all of Liquid's course, especially the Nature's Prophet, who he's killed multiple times, and this is a very rare game from Mind Control where he's actually feeding a lot of kills away to EG, and already it all started in the laning stage where EG picked the perfect hero to go against the Nature's Prophet. I think the Lone Druid is a really good matchup for him, the Lone Druid against Nature's Prophet, and as we're seeing now, Arteezy is topping out within the game. Same thing with Samael, and good drafting, I would say, from EG won them this game. Not necessarily their play. It was a pretty simple game to execute. All it was Arteezy, you know, making sure he gets his farm up and split pushing properly without feeding any kills away, and he's done that. It's 0 deaths so far. We'll lose his bear though. Has the Aegis now. Samael has the cheese. They will Chrono Samael. He should die here. But that's two big ultimates to just secure that kill onto Samael. Again, the silence was needed. Otherwise, he would have just got Cold Embrace there, or they would have Winter's Curse, and Samael would have lived and cheesed. So that's their ultimates used to kill Samael. But again, EG is actually okay with this, right? Because, I mean, Liquid don't have insane tower pushing potential. They already use a Serpent Wards there as well. So long cooldown ultimates down, they lose Samael. I mean, he's dead for a while without buyback, but they're not going to lose high ground. I'm just going to speed it up. Liquid probably will just take this tier 2. Even Elder Titan stalling this push just onto the tier 2. Samael up in 30 seconds. They can stall for even longer with the Elder Titan. And, oh, he got stunned there, I think. And yeah, they're not even going to try to go high ground against EG. Arteezy still incredibly powerful. Instead, they're just going to push out the mid lane and probably go back and get the mid-rex, because now, I mean, Chronosphere is going to be up to 20, 30, 30. They have a small window, and they're going to go straight for it. And of course, they still have the Aegis there onto Arteezy. So I think this time they just don't show Samael, and they're gonna have Ortiz use his Aegis. Let's see what actually happens here. Ghost Slam comes out, they don't get a kill. I mean, it should, yeah, they just get the melee racks there and they'll back off as Liquid's ultimates come online again.
Oh boy, Tire's bottom tower's getting hit.
Now at this point, I mean, Liquid's still in a weird scenario. I can actually still see them win this if
Tire's
Ichi
bottom
don't
tower's under attack.
form the high ground pushes properly, but I mean, they know what they're doing, it seems, as they don't overcommit onto the high ground. They have heroes that can hit from really long range, and they just need to be objective gamers. They need to make sure they don't dive into Liquid. The way Liquid will actually win this game is if they can get successful high ground defenses against EG and just scale up with their silencer and their void. Because if this does hit late game, I do think it will favor Liquid once again when the void gets like fully slotted out. Silencer starts dealing a ridiculous amount of ints and he starts hitting super hard. But at this point, like, it's pretty simple for EG to win the game. I wouldn't say it's like easy or anything. They still have to be very careful when these high ground pushes, as Liquid, of course, with their lineup can still hold high ground incredibly well with Earthshaker, Void,
The prize is mine.
Silencer. EG will most likely probably wait for the next Roshan just to be safe, and what they can do then is just put the Aegis onto like Arteezy and just let him siege by himself. Everyone else can just play in the far back, and Liquid really have no other option other than to like try to smoke wrap around. Otherwise, there's just nothing for them to be initiating on. Otherwise, like Arteezy just slowly kill their building, and I feel like at this point, Liquid's only answer to this is to wait it out and hope for EG to mess up, which is never the ideal scenario you want to put yourself in, but sometimes it's the only scenario or the only way you can win. So they definitely can't play aggressive against EG. They just don't have the map control. It's really hard to get wards on the map without getting picked off, unless they use a smoke, and there's only a limited number of smokes. I guess they can like TP mind control out and have him place wards. I feel like that's pretty good. I saw like Arteezy or E doing that once. Notice that Liquid, they can't split up at all. They're just sitting together. We can speed through the rest of this and see what ends up happening. As for Miracle, he's not having good item regression, as I mean, he can't push the wave out. Like in terms of their farm, they're not getting that much farm on the map, and they're gonna try for a smoke here. I think Ichi's already pinging it out. They know something's coming, and he's just getting fatter and fatter. He's staying consistently at the top of the net worth. The only hero I feel like that's farming is Mind Control, as he has Global Teleport, and he is the top net worth onto Liquid at this point. They're gonna get the catch there onto Crit. As expected, EG don't put any real heroes or any cores in danger, so Crit tanks the gank for them, and they're totally happy with that. At this point, you see Zai is still split pushing. He's getting farmed as well. That's usually the difference between a team that's ahead and a team that's behind. In this type of scenarios, the supports get a lot more farm, but you look at GH, he's not actually that far behind. So in this game, it's a little bit different, as it's actually Arteezy and Samael just being way far ahead in terms of their farm and their effectiveness in these fights, as well as their levels too. Samael about to hit level 25, and Arteezy's already hit level 25. And that's actually a big difference, because they'll have access to those level 25 talents. Arteezy with the Savage Roar cooldown, not that big of a deal, but I think Arteezy or Samael's talent, whether he goes for the attack speed or the arrow, split shot will be a pretty big deal in these like late game team fights. And Liquid's only option is still to play together. I do like how Kuroki's building. He's given up like trying to initiate or like be a disabler going in there, starting off the fight at all. He's just going for the Ags to account for the scenario where they can actually win a team fight and they just want to be able to take buildings. Takes the tier 3s or racks as fast as possible, as they are on a time limit test point. So when EG comes back alive, they'll be ready to fight. Unlike Liquid, where, I mean, if they win a fight, they're actually at a disadvantage once EG respawn, because the ultimate should still be on cooldown for a short period of time. The longer the game goes on, this is going to matter less, because EG will have longer and longer death timers, so unless they buy back or have Aegis and cheese or something like that, they won't be able to get back in fighting shape before Liquid's ultimates are off cooldown again. This is the first time I've seen Liquid actually attempt to start a fight, but you see here, no follow-up on the Chrono. They just don't have the ability to follow up on the Common Man, and they get 2 kills, but the buyback come out immediately. You usually know that this is the opportunity. The ultimates are used onto Liquid, and they can end the game now.
He's unstoppable.
They're going to. There's a triple arrow from Samael. GG's probably going to be called. You have buyback on the Common Man. Actually, they have buyback onto 3. They have one last chance to take a fight here. Someone has to go defend bottom. It will be Zai, but EG want to get mega creeps now. You know that they have a long window where Liquid don't have ultimates anymore, and they're going to try to either end the game, get mega creeps, or just get some kills on these heroes that bought back and just do both. You know? There you go, Lasso to Miracle. Yeah, he doesn't have buyback. Doesn't have the gold for it, so he bought out for the Assault Pierce. Huge pick off. Common Man already used his buyback, so if he dies now, he's in a lot of trouble. There's Winter's Curse coming out. Mind control. He's used his buyback already to get himself out, but he's way too strong. He's killing everybody. So now ends up going down. He's gonna buy back most likely. His travel in. Yep. They're gonna have money for Blitz travel. Use TPs to the shrine. They can take the bottom racks here. They have to be careful though, because they don't want to die back on their heroes at this point. They've already used 2 buybacks and 3 now on Samael. They lose crit, so they're gonna play it safe and go for Roshan. They know they can still stagger Liquid, which is a big deal. Chronosphere will be up though. Global Silence will be up, and Echo will be up. But they're playing against 2 lives on EG's heroes, which is going to be really hard, because it's hard enough to try to kill EG once without the perfect initiation. They're showing that they have more potential now, as they're getting more and more damage on the Void and the Silencer. But it's still not easy for them. I think that Liquid's lineup is not really prepared to play against EG in this way. Definitely, I think it goes down to the Void pick. They got caught up on the Void, you know, being able to play against Bat, and just didn't work out for them. This is not the best Void game. Mind Control or Metalman played it pretty well, I would say, but it's a hard Void game, and a game where EG just want to push the map. It's similar to what Samael had to deal with in the last game, right? Where it was Broodmother, Lycan, and Nature's Prophet. There was like nowhere for him to get good chronos off, because it's just the way that EG's lineup plays. They're not ever like super grouped up or anything like that, where you can land super good 2-man, 3-man chronos. Most of his chronos have been on 1 or 2 people at most, and it's not an easy game. There's a lot of save get as well, so every time they chrono, if they want to commit for the kill, they also have to use the silence, which is a big deal. And I don't think Silencer is a bad pick here, but in terms of the again, I think both these heroes, like in theory, right, like they counter EG's heroes in some way, shape, or form. But the way their lineup like works together as a whole, it just doesn't match up against EG. Because like, what are they gonna do when TZ does this? Like, if they have like a hero like with real damage, real DPS, like they just go in and like stop TZ from doing this. But at this point, they just don't. They can kill his pair, but as for a real hero, they'll have to commit Chrono. But just look, they'll just counter initiate. BKB onto our team. We also have the cheese, so he's gonna go ham.
people.
Kroki dropped as many abilities as he can. Echo Slam. But he still has the cheese. They're just gonna man up. Big ultimates used. They don't manage to kill anybody. Smail loses Aegis build. That'll be deep. But won't matter too much. And you're gonna clean up. And EG won't take this game. It's a full 5-man wipe, and good game is called. So to recap this game, I do think that Liquid lost this mostly in the drafting phase. I don't see much wrong with their game actually in terms of how they executed this. The team fights weren't executed perfectly, but again, you can't expect the team to execute every team fight perfectly, and it's really hard to do so. Without perfect vision or having full knowledge of knowing where a team is, I mean, you can't expect like Man to get like a 3-man crit on the key targets, especially if EG just position themselves well at all. In laning stage, they played it to the best of their ability, I would say. Mind Control lost top pretty hard, but I mean, that's to be expected. Again, that just was not a favorable matchup for him at all compared to the last game where he was a Nature's Prophet against the Venomancer. I think they thought in theory, like, the Nature's Prophet can do a lot more against the Lone Druid than they actually, or was the actual reality. And as a result, they really focused on shutting down Universe and getting kills, protecting Matoma Man, but it just didn't really work out. Maybe they had a better start if they focused more attention on shutting down Samael and Arteezy, which turned out to be the heroes that gave them the real problem. I mean, Universe, of course, created a lot of space. His lassos were on point as well, but he was more so just like a distraction, a space creator again, as most offlaners are. But Samael was playing the greedy push-out lanes role. This is not something that he takes in every single game, as he's been playing heroes like Puck and stuff at TI. But in this game, it's Samael, Dota, one of the Mirana, getting the farm up, being one of the top networks in the game, and same thing with Arteezy. And they just got super farmed, got the Aegis and Cheese, and at that point, in Liquid's lineup, it was kind of one and done. They relied on one big team fight, and wiping the floor with EG just never had opportunity to do so. And with that, EG take this win against Team Liquid, and the series was even out 1-1. I think a lot was to be learned in this game about beating Liquid with kind of their own playstyle, I would say. And this is when Liquid do falter, is when they mess up in the draft, and I think that the teams that did beat them is teams that got some type of drafting advantage over Kroki. A lot of it had to do with giving Kroki's heroes that looked good but just didn't work well together, and I think that's a strategy that Kroki applied himself. So it's kind of funny seeing that the way to beat Liquid was to play like Liquid, or to do as Liquid do. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you leave a like down below. And if you want to see more content like this one, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.